All right, guys. So what I'm going to do is for a moment, I'll stop share and I'll just talk to you all, tell you a bit about my journey, and we'll begin from there. Right, friends. So I'm Kirti Bakshi, and great to see all of you here. And basically, a lot of them wanted to actually watch recordings. So we are in Mumbai. I run the company called the Counseling Company, and I'm from Mumbai. And I did my psychotherapy some 25, 30 years back. And as you all know, how quest of learning takes over. So I had this quest to learn all the time, and I kept on learning, and I went a lot into cognitive behavior therapy, rational emotive behavior therapy, transaction analysis, and that was how I started my journey. However, it kept on giving me roadblocks because I felt everything can't be resolved through a CBT. So I went on to learn REBT. There also, I felt that the sessions were becoming predictable, and also I needed something more and something to dive a little bit deeper and to go beyond what was happening in the sessions. And that's when I started learning more of subconscious modalities. And I reached hypnotherapy, and I learned hypnotherapy all levels. For 12 years, I trained in hypnotherapy as well. And there again, I found that in hypnotherapy, it was beautiful. It was a fantastic journey I had, but I found that the diagnostic skills were largely missing. And I don't know how it's with your batches, but the batches that I was doing it with were people who didn't have a background from psychology, so they were very good with their inductions, and they were very good with the processes that were being taught. But from my perspective of a psychotherapist, I felt that there was something missing, and that something was, a clear goal or a diagnostic procedure. And that's when I started also attending educational psychology with Rudolf Steiner Institute, and they were to set up their first school here. And I did their educational psychology, and I saw them using metaphors, which was drawings, very largely to understand children, decode their behavior. And there was no training at that time they were having in drawing analysis. It was then that I took up a job in a company that maintained research archives for History Channel. And when I took up that job, I realized there's so much more to just the word drawing analysis. And I had availability of the best literature with me. And so I actually called the American library books, and I took away books from the British library for on rent to read. And I figured out that what we call as drawing analysis is in fact a surface of something way deeper called metaphors. And that is what was started by Carl Jung. And Carl Jung called the drawing analysis, or the tarot for that matter, was also started by him. And he called these as metaphors. And he, in one of his books, when I was reading his books, The Man and His Symbols, which is a book on symbols, and he said that the human mind or the human subconscious knows no information. It stores information, it knows no language, and it stores information in forms of visuals. These visuals he called were as metaphors. And he said when you explore these visuals, they become very idiosyncratic and can actually help you deeply connect to the subconscious in a minute. And that actually intrigued me because at the same time, I was going through Rudolf Steiner educational psychology, where I was seeing them use drawings and drawing analysis. I dug deeper. I stuck to many trainers who would come down to the Rudolf Steiner Institute, and I actually learned a lot from them about drawing analysis. And with all my hypnotherapy circle, I started actually doing drawing analysis. So along, and I was practicing all the time. I always had a clinic of my own. And while I was doing that job, I was weekend counseling because we weren't getting clients back then. I'm talking about literally 25, 30 years back. We weren't getting clients. So I had to hold a job. At the same time, Friday evening, Saturdays, Sundays, I would be doing clients. And I started integrating a lot of drawing analysis and metaphor work with them. And it just went like wildfire. People just said that, oh wow, this is interesting. And I realized people started coming to me only for drawing analysis, which I know is just the surface of the whole thing, but for me that was the beginning also. And I kept going along with it, and I kept diving deeper, and I came upon verbal metaphor and imaginary metaphor, and I learned a lot about the world of metaphor and its use in psychotherapy very, very extensively. Started practicing a lot of it, and it was then that my hypnotherapy gang wanted to learn the drawing analysis and the metaphor part of it to combine it with hypnotherapy. So even when I was learning hypnotherapy, I could realize that everything that's done under hypnosis is also metaphors. And I could also realize that any deep kind of work actually is working with images and substitution of images. It was then I also happened to learn NLP from Father Tony, and he again said NLP and metaphors, and he kept on using this is a metaphor here, this is a metaphor here. And I saw that metaphor forms a very basis and substratum of a lot of transformative work. And I actually then took on full-fledged to the study and the teaching of metaphors. And well, it's been a good 20 years, and I'm completely into metaphor therapy training. I also train in other modalities like child psychology and play therapy. I train in family systemic constellations. Metaphor stays close to my heart. I do a batch every month. I take small groups. I take around 6 to 8 people, 10 people, because it's a very personalized training. And yeah, so the journey just goes on. That's how I came to the world of metaphors. And when I use it in my therapy, it is unbelievable for me because every metaphor is so different in its approach. It reveals so much, it brings up so much. And it's surprising, how every time you are so amazed by the power of metaphors. So, according to Carl Jung, what the subconscious mind holds in form of information is presented through metaphors. One of the metaphors is in the drawing, which is the drawing metaphor or the visual metaphor. The second is verbal, which is when the people are talking, they're using metaphor, and there is a definitive process in which you can take people's words and develop them into a complete therapy session. One word, even if you take one word, it can convert into a complete therapy session. And then there are imaginary metaphors for a resistant client, or for let us say, a client who is not able to put things together at one go. And sometimes they do come to us when they're all over the place. It kind of aligns with the whole imaginary metaphor when you give them an imagination to you to do, and you could decode it and get a deeper understanding. So I have a lot of my students who come from fields like you all do, and I have a lot of my students who begin their journeys with metaphor. And today I can name very big names in India, as well as I'm teaching in Dubai from the last 14 years. I come to Illuminations Dubai and I'm on their panel. So in their hypnotherapy course, metaphor therapy is embedded within the curriculum, which means no hypnotherapist from Illumination passes out till they have learned hypnotherapy. And Illuminations is one of the bigger schools in the UAE for hypnotherapy as well as for complete certification in hypnotherapy. Apart from that, I teach in Hong Kong very regularly, and my online sessions are generally on where we have people from across the globe joining us. So, this is about me and my journey into metaphor therapy, and the basis of metaphor therapy being Jungian work. So, Carl Jung is the father of projective psychology. Metaphors fall in the realm of projective psychology. So far, I've just laid the foundation to what metaphor is. Do we have any questions, guys? Yeah, Alicia, you can unmute yourself if you have a question.
No, I think all clear for now.
Now you're clear. Wonderful. So, what we are going to do, I'll take you through a very quick curriculum PPT. I promise it won't be longer. I understand that it's night time and also patience runs out on PPTs. So, I'll keep it very short. I'll quickly run you through it. And I'm going to be teaching you all in short. If those who are listening to the recording or those who are listening right now, I'm going to be teaching you in my workshop the visual metaphor, the verbal metaphor, the imaginary metaphor, acceptance and commitment therapy using metaphors, closure therapy, directions therapy, as well as deep down into the dive into the subconscious, change making, and a technique called the bridge technique, projective drawing analysis techniques. All these are, three of them are diagnostic techniques, four of them are development techniques, and six of them are closure techniques. So whenever you are getting into a session, every session does go through three steps or three processes. One is the diagnostic, where you are making a rapport. At the same time, you are deciding the goal for your session, and then you are developing it along certain frameworks. These frameworks is something that, friends, does not come to everyone. That's where a methodology and a technique is required. So that probably is what demarcates one therapist from the other, or one counselor or one coach from the other, is the use of techniques that they employ and how well they are actually sharpened their brain into apply these techniques. So learning is one part of it, and applying is another part of it. So I'm going to be taking you all through learning as well as application, and what kind of post-course support we provide, and what is a metaphor community like. Can I take you all through a quick PPT? Are you all good to go with that, guys?
Yes.
All right. So I promise to keep it short because I do attend a lot of presentations with the PPTs, and I know how it can at times feel. Yeah, okay. Right. So here we are. Great. Okay. So metaphor therapy, it's a workshop by the counseling company. That's my company, and I run it from India. I founded it in 2004 in Mumbai with a view of providing quality services in three areas: individuals, professionals, and corporates. The company also, we have a tie-up with five different corporates, and our team members are working and dealing with the corporates, and we are pretty much using the same approaches, the holistic approaches, metaphor therapy, and mixed approaches to work even in the corporate sector. Currently, we have a panel of trainers and holistic coaches. We train in metaphor therapy, family constellation, ancestral healing, child psychology, play therapy, NLP, practitioner and master level, counseling masterclass, which is basic and advanced, which is based on the Carl Rogers model, graphology, and signature analysis. So these are some of the services we offer. I have already spoken about myself, so I won't repeat myself. Okay. So, to be in the mental wellness industry, I just need to tell you that many of us have the gift. We have a gift of empathy, sympathy. People are drawn towards us. We have personal magnetism. We know people get to like us, and for some reason, people listen to us. If you have those core qualities, then it's only a matter of sharpening them up. And you sharpen them up through formal education of techniques. So university education gives us a lot, but because I'm from a university, I can tell you it gives us a lot, but what it doesn't give us is sharpening of skills. And that's what happens in a workshop space. Of course, reading books is a great way to do it. Attending pre-recorded courses is a great way to do it. But I have done all of that, and I realize that when a trainer imparts their personal skill and is teaching through personal transference, the learning is better, it's more immersive. Your questions are answered on the spot, and I also think it's much more live than one way watching it. So to be in the mental wellness industry, we need to have curiosity, which means a spirit of always learning. Even right now, I'm enrolled for 2 courses and I'm learning. Empathy, you need to be very empathetic, which I assume we all are. We just need to develop a little more when we are in this profession. unconditional positive regard, listening skills, self evaluation, constant upgrade is very important. If we are not upgrading ourselves, then sometimes in our own sessions, our own therapy starts sounding boring to us. Those words that we start speaking actually become hollow. We know we are giving a over the counter suggestion. We know we've done this with many clients, but most of them have come back not doing their assignments or not doing their homework. To make that impact, constant upgrade is very important. Peer monitoring and self work. So these are all the things that are required, and I'm sure all of you are there and would probably agree with me that this is required. I've already said this part where I'm talking about the subconscious not knows no language, and it stores information in forms of images. These images are known as metaphors. I've already said that, so I'm not repeating them. But understand that they form the basis of metaphor therapy, and metaphor therapy belongs to the projective school of psychology. And Carl Jung was the father of projective school of psychology. Let's listen to how Milton Erickson used metaphor and what he had to say about metaphors.
I think the audio is not on, Kirti.
Preeti, I think I'm not able to hear anything. Is it only me?
One second. Yeah?
Yeah, I can't hear anything, Kirti. Is it only me?
Yeah, the
Others
audio is not playing.
None of us are able to hear, I think.
No?
No.
Okay. Audio. One second. I can hear. All right. Let me see. Okay. So I will share this on the chat with you all. This particular clip. It's about Milton Erickson saying how metaphors are supposed to be used, because I don't want to waste your time in fixing this right now. But basically, it's about Milton Erickson Foundation using metaphors. I will be sharing this clip on the group itself. So you all can go through this and we'll go on to the next slide. So now we are going to be looking at visual metaphors are the drawings of the client used largely in DAT, which is draw a tree, draw a house and a house tree person, like tests in clinical psychology. A lot of clinical psychologists use the drawing analysis as a deep dive into the subconscious. And they have their own journals and manuals of interpretation. However, you all are going to make your own journals on the model of Indian philosophy, anthroposophy, and anthropology and anthroposophy. And I will be teaching you about how are you going to analyze a drawing. You will learn how to interpret drawings and read the client's subconscious mind and set goals in consent with the client. And that will happen in a matter of 5 to 7 minutes. That's about it. In verbal metaphor, when we talk, we use metaphors or picture words to express our deepest feelings and states. For example, we say, my life is like a merry-go-round. Now, if somebody was to say this, for me, this information is enough to turn the whole session into a whole sentence into a therapy goal and a therapy session. I'm sitting on a pile of mess. I'm not in the driver's seat. My heart is tearing apart. Now, these are the sentences which I have picked up from my clients' metaphors, and I have done complete sets of therapy, not one. It's like, week after week, they have come back and we have worked on the same metaphor. These expressions can become the very basis of therapy and taken on a 4-step therapeutic modality and evolve into a whole new understanding. It's only amazing when you will work with metaphor, will you realize the power of metaphor. I cannot stress enough on use of metaphors in a therapy. Imaginary metaphor. Often, when we sit and are asked to imagine constructively, we imagine scenarios which are very different from our current reality. These also represent the progressive metaphors and can be decoded to understand the deeper intention and aspirations of the client. This provides a retrospective as well as a projective approach in therapy. So I will be teaching you what kind of imaginations are you going to do with your clients, and what are you going to infer, and how it's giving you a deeper insight into the objective of the client. Whereas the stated objective can be one, but the subconscious objective can be different. And for us, if we reach the subconscious objective, we are almost creating a level of awareness which is really very transforming. So what are we going to do over here by using the metaphors? We are going to be using acceptance and commitment therapy by use of metaphor. We are going to be including that into the curriculum. So nowadays, increasing emphasis on positive psychology and progressive psychology has made acceptance and commitment therapy a very popular and effective addition, as it has 6 core principles. All are based on mindfulness, personal reflection, takes you to the desired result in a very light way. So acceptance and commitment therapy, as I don't know if you all are in touch with the current trends of psychology, the very heavy schools of psychology are actually losing a bit of popularity and significance because of onset of mindfulness and positive psychology that has come on the block. And I do find that a way more lighter, motivational and progressive approach. So we are going to be including acceptance and commitment therapy by use of metaphor within our curriculum. Now the workshop is basic level and advanced level. In basic level, we'll be doing drawing analysis, color psychology, introduction to verbal metaphor, a practice of verbal metaphor. In the advanced level, we'll be doing verbal metaphor, 4-step therapeutic process, client-generated and therapist-generated metaphors, imaginary metaphors, acceptance and commitment therapy, guided metaphor scripts, and picture strip projections. These are all amazing techniques. Once you master these techniques, in addition to what you already know, and for beginners, this is good enough to get started and take on all kinds of clients. Like I did my entire curriculum, and for me, I was never taught that if a client comes to you who's lost somebody and has actually come in for a therapy after 2 or 3 days of losing the person, what would you do? So you say, okay, you do grief counseling. But what kind of grief counseling can you do with a person who is so shattered at that given moment? Nothing you say that helps. I know, so I have included a closure therapy in my curriculum, which no matter how much the client is grieving, the grief almost sees a new direction. So we'll be using closure therapy as well in our curriculum. We'll be teaching you that. After course support, free repeat of next course. That is, if you've not understood some parts, you can join us on those days. We are on every month. WhatsApp group support round the year. So the drawing analysis group will continue to go on round the year. We will add you to another advanced level group where the old students are already practicing a lot more. One-on-one session with Kirti or senior for doubt clearing. So I've got students who will clear your doubts. And if you really have a lot of doubts and you are completely lost on the scenario, you can get in touch with me. We'll fix a session and I'll clear your doubts. Dates and details. We are starting on the 30th and 31st May. We'll start only 2 days. We are doing 12:30 to 5. And we are taking breaks, of course, that is implied. Follow-up classes we will have every Thursday, 6 to 8 Thursdays till we don't finish our curriculum. We will decide the day subject to batch, but I like to keep it Thursday so that everyone kind of plans towards working towards the day. If we tell you all right now, timing will be 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. every Thursday for 6 to 8 Thursday. So the kind of time you all need to, and then we will have practices on the group which will continue to go on. The fee structure I've already shared on the group. The basic is 14,000, advance is 16,000. Total is 28,500. Current discount is 27,000. This is all payable in installments. You can pay together and register right now for 26,000. That's only right now. You can make the first payment of 2,000 and register, and then pay the balance as we go by, as we continue our curriculum. So this is all there is to the whole program. It's not very complicated. Generally, people talk for 3 hours and share the fee structure. I've been sharing it on the group for a complete transparency. All that I wanted to brief you all was how we are going to go about it, and just to know me and see if you can relate to my style of work, and if you are equally motivated in the science of metaphor as I am excited to teach. So that's why I held this webinar. And if you all still have questions, we'll take them up right now.
Kirti,
this-
I'd just like to ask if there is a certification or like a certificate at the
Certification will
end.
come, yes, certification will come from the counseling company, which is a registered body in India. We are registered with the Udyam Governments of India, and we'll be giving you a certificate from the counseling company signed by a psychotherapist. And that is the only requirement of integrating metaphor in your work. After this, you will be able to call yourself a holistic coach and start working.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So this is my recent batch who've done metaphor. Can you hear this?
No.
No? Okay. I'll post this also. I think there is, yeah. Right. So I'll post this also on the group. So here I am, friends. This is my contact number, and this is the counseling company website. Now let's take up if you have any questions. Yes, guys, I'll stop the share here. Okay. And I'll also remove my spotlight so we all can see each other. And if you all have any questions, please open your videos so we can talk, we can discuss and answer any questions, or even have a discussion for that matter about anything that you all would like to. Hi, Deepika. Hi, Abhishek. Hi, Alicia. Hi. Mr. Said Khan, would you like to show your start your video? All right. So, guys, Alicia and Deepika are already with us. Abhishek, you'll have to be making up your mind, and we'll leave that for you to decide. I'll be just putting up the payment details on the group. So, if you are motivated to join, please do join in. And I'll also be sharing the recording with others who can join in. Right? Any other questions, friends, that I can answer? No? Great. So we are good to go, and we will see you all across on Saturday, the 30th.
Sure.
Right? All right, guys. Bye. See you
Thank you,
all.
Kirti. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.